Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Coffee with Carla has got a guest today. Rex Culinaires extraordinaire.
How privileged.
Oh, I know, honey.
I am honored.
We're just going to share our life. We'll let you guys get on here and get a cup of coffee and join us. So just bear with us for a second.
Ooh, that's a really good coffee.
You like
Carla.
that?
Yeah.
That is French roast, Starbucks French roast. All right, let's, so you go to share. Did you do it already?
No.
Oh, so if you go to Coffee with Carla, then you click on share.
So I gotta go on Coffee with Carla.
Yeah.
Rookie. Coffee with Carla.
Is that how you type?
Yeah, I have we call that speech impediment.
Oh, okay. You don't have a speech impediment. You're so
Okay, so what do I
silly.
do? I just press that?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
so
There?
who's on here? Mike, how are you? That's
Yo, Mike!
Grateful Mike. Sweatshop swag.
Yo, Mikey!
So then just go down, so you can hit share right there.
Where?
Yeah, it just, and then it'll share. You can click right a post,
Share to group.
and then just hit post. Sorry
Hey,
guys.
Hey, Mike, I'm getting taught
Social
here by
media tips.
social media guru how to do the Facebook. I'm still new with all this stuff, Mike.
We're gonna get them going.
Hang on a sec.
All right. Sorry, guys. How's everybody doing today? Who else do we have on here? Since we got 4 people on, so that's good. Good morning, whoever is on here. Happy to have you on here.
What's triple S again, Mike?
Hey, I'm
What's that?
Sweatshop Swag.
Oh, sweatshop thing. Go get your coffee, Mikey.
You better go get your coffee. What are you drinking? Not Tim Hortons. You're drinking something down in that American. You're gonna have to turn the volume off on that because it'll hear us.
Do you have an attention deficit or something?
I
thought I was the only one with an attention deficit.
I know. So, hello, Gordy. How are you doing? So we're on here today. Yeah, you missed your Timmy's. I bet. It's, I don't know. What is Arizona coffee down there? Are they Dunkin' Donuts gang down there? I'm not sure. But anyways, I got my Boss Babe mug.
Boss Babe.
With my Leo significant other who likes to try to be the boss of me sometimes.
Oh my goodness. And it begins.
And
we haven't
begins.
even started
I
yet.
know. And we're going to talk about money.
Money.
Money, honey.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about money, meaning like not giving out financial advice or anything, but what does money mean to you guys? Is it, some people are really like, that's the number one thing in their life. They're geared towards money and it's the be all and the end all. Some people are, not as keen on that and it's not a big deal to them. We all need money, obviously, to live, and we need money to pay our bills. But do you feel that, good morning, Rodney, do you feel that money is the root of all evil, or is it for the good? What are your guys' thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts, Mr. Culinaires? Do share with the group, the community, please.
Money for me, and I can only speak for myself, but money to me is not the cause of happiness. It doesn't bring you happiness, but it certainly helps. That's what I think of money.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, being an entrepreneur, just like most entrepreneurs and most business people, I was in pursuit of money because I thought money would give me everything, including happiness and love and all that. And I chased and made it. But then once I got it up there and I said, okay, you know, once you reach a millionaire status, you kind of get up there and you're looking and all around you and you're going, now what? And that's for me what it was back in 2007, 2006. And I had made money and built a little bit of wealth and where I lived, building spec homes and real estate investing. I had 23 properties at one time, and now I have to be clear on this as well. I had just turned 40. I don't know what the heck was going on me, but something was going on, and a lot of questions raised. I questioned myself in terms of, okay, with all this, you know, with wealth and achieving the goal that I wanted to achieve for me and my family, I was like, at that point, questioning, now what? And you know how they say that be careful what you think of, because all of these goals that you create for yourself in terms of money, it's not what it's all out to be.
Do you think, I know what you think, but I want you to share with everybody else, but when you're pursuing that, is the focus all like zeroed right in on money, or is it was at that time you said it was focused in on money only, right?
Yeah.
Now
you lose your perspective on everything else except money, and then when I got there, it was like, okay, I was bored. I was kind of like, it was irrelevant.
Right. And so then in 2008, you
came crashing.
Like many other people in the U.S. had, you know, the crash happened down there and it affected many people.
Yeah.
And so then for a lot of people, and I hope you don't mind me sharing, but you've shared this with people, but then that's when the money disappeared.
It didn't disappear.
Not disappeared, but
you know, creditors were calling, the banks were calling, going, when is our loan going to be repaid? And I had built 8 spec homes at that time between 2006 to 2007, and I couldn't sell a single one at my cost. And yeah. And
so how did that change your perspective of money? Because you have a different perspective now.
Yeah. So back then, you know, for those for family that we have,
Hi, Mrs. C.
Everybody knows that I went homeless. I was homeless for a couple of years, actually 3 years, going 3 years, and I kind of stripped myself off from everything. I knew that, you know, when I lost everything, I knew that I could always get it back. But at that time, I needed to rejuvenate and do some soul searching, and that's what I did. And stripped myself off from every materialism that I ever owned, and all the fancy big house and the fancy cars. Stripped myself off of all that because I was lost, you know. And but I always knew that I could always make money back. And being lost, I needed to find the time to sort of find who Rex Collinaires was, because I was, you know, I had worked, you know, for 25 years or 30 years of my adult life. At that time, I had a purpose, and you know, every day I woke up doing the same thing over and over again with that purpose in mind. And this is what I'm saying, that once I got there, it was like, okay, now what? And so I went through this kind of lost period of oneself, because I had forgotten, I think I've forgotten that, you know, what was it all for that I was doing all that for and working so hard. And so when I lost everything and walked away from everything, I knew I could get everything back, but at that time, Rex needed to get healed from inside out. And so, yeah.
So your perspective now, from what I know, and this is what you now tell people that you do business with, or people that come to you with, you know, looking for advice on business or
money,
is always,
how to build
it's
wealth.
always out of money, and it's always about how do you build your wealth, and it's your statement is always consistent in don't focus on the money will follow.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna have, different
Hi
interpretation.
Kathy, hi Paul, hi Roy. Sorry.
Hi everybody. It's all it was basically was after my soul searching and and finding Rex needed to take care of himself, and we all do. Like that part in my life was basically my being, my soul, telling me, okay, Rex, like it's time to reflect on everything that you've done. Not everything that good or bad that when you've gone through in life was a bad thing. As a matter of fact, I look at it differently now. Everything from money to my business. I look at it that money is just, it's a shift in our thinking. It really is. When I finally finished and I did all my reflection and all that stuff, I was just like you remember that. I just said, I'm done being homeless.
Yeah.
I'm done being homeless, and I'm done with mediocrity. I'm done with poverty. I'm done with all that stuff. Making money, creating wealth, building wealth is like riding a bike. If you know how to do it, if you've done it, you can do it again. And you can take it as an example, each and every one of us, all of us, including everybody out there. If money is just, it's a shift in thinking. If you think of scarcity, then that's what you're gonna live. That's how you're gonna live, of scarcity. If you live a life of abundance, now it doesn't mean once you get money, you're just giving it all away. No, that's not what abundance means. Abundance means living and not worrying about scarcity. Now, there's a lot of people out there that go, okay, once they get the money, they
Hold it
clutch
tight.
it right so tight into their chest that they're not willing to go part ways with it because they're afraid that they'll lose that money that they have. Well, that's scarcity. Whereas thinking a life of abundance, where you look at money and say, okay, I just got $500 check for consulting or for contracting work that I just did. Now you can take that $500 and say, okay, I'm going to go and splurge it out and dinner and take my girl out for dinner, and all of a sudden that $500 is gone, right? Or you can take that $500 and say, okay, I'm gonna take $100 of that, take my girl out for dinner, maybe get myself a nice shirt, and you got to reward yourself. You got to pay yourself once in a while, but you got to take your $400 or $350 remaining and say, okay, I'm gonna go buy a 1/4 ounce or 1/8 ounce of gold, or buy stocks with that, or invest it into mutual funds, and whatever you want to do. But it's okay to treat yourself, but you also got to reinvest that back, right? And so that to me is money. Money is just for me a vehicle to which it spreads happiness. And in my case, I love spoiling the crap out of my parents. I love spoiling, Carla, and but we don't go out all the time. And the little things that we do together, whether it be going out to a seafood market and grabbing, half a dozen lobster tails, which we just did this past weekend, and all of that was like, under $30 for 6 lobster tails. So to me,
I didn't go shopping for the lobster tails.
to me, that is living a life of abundance versus scarcity. So anyway.
Well, and I think for you and I too, as much as, and let me just say, I'm not a shopper, and I'm not, that isn't my thing. I don't spend money freely, and I'm not a clothes horse, and I'm not, you know, any of those things. I do treat myself. My nails is my one thing that I do treat myself to. But the other thing is, for him and I, we honestly, we have fun together, whether we're at home or whether we go out. We used to go out a lot, like we did used to go out a lot for dinners and, you know, happy hours and stuff, but we've kind of slowed down on that, and we've kind of come to the conclusion that that's nice to do, and that's a good treat to do once in a while. But you know what? It's also, that can add up and it can get expensive. But in saying that, it's also, we can go out and buy a few things and come home and cook dinner, or we can just be home. We have the music on and we just have a great time together. I think too, what the one thing, Rex, is kind of, I used to relate money to, especially like showboaty people that I consider them showboaty, but they, you know, they're extravagant in their spending. And I used to relate that to, that's why I hated money. Like, I just really had this bad thought process about money. Like, oh yeah, you know, like those Real Housewives or whoever, like those people. And I used to just think like, oh my God, like I would run in the opposite direction of those people. Because I don't like that extravagance and I don't like that arrogance and all of that. But what I had to, and Rex has helped me with that, is like coming to the conclusion that money is not the root of all evil, because it's how you deal with it. It's, you know, it can be, for sure, you can use it for bad, but you can also put it to good, however that is, whatever you choose to do with your money, in the good part of it. But
well, Mike, I can really relate to that. You know, it's like I said, for you know, it's just a matter. It's a matter of shifting your thinking, you know, with regards to money, and that's the problem I think I'm seeing, not just from myself, but from a lot of people that I do know, other business people. They just can't seem to save enough money or have enough to build for their nest egg and stuff like that. If what I know now, you know, reflecting back on what I had and what I had built, it's never too late, you know, to start now. Okay, and it's just a matter of discipline. Like if you just try this out, carry $1,000 in your wallet. Okay, carry $1,000 in your wallet. $1,000 in your wallet, cash, and I can guarantee you that if you're out there, you know, it's pretty tough to spend $1,000. You know, a lot of people go, money's like water. Okay, yeah, money's like water, and you know how you think becomes a reality. And so for me, I carry $1,000, and you know, occasionally, just it's not because, you know, for anything vain, for any vain reason, but it's just to train my mind that I don't need to spend that money. You know, I've gone on where, you know, for carrying $1,000 cash and it's still there for like the whole month. And occasionally, like, I'll come in, you know, I'll you know, if I see if I see what do you call it, panhandlers, you know, homelessness. I'm a strong proponent for, you know, helping when I can help. And when I do see a homeless person, you know, I'll pop in a $20 or $50 or whatever. And for me, that is my gratification. And I don't give it out to every single panhandlers. But, you know, if I see a veteran, a former veteran, or an elderly, and I can see that, you know, they need help, they're hungry, you know, I used to just go buy the food and then bring it to the person, but now I'll, you know, because of time constraints, you know, and I have the cash in my wallet. That's the only time. So I try to live the best I can, you know, living with a life of abundance. It's a tough, you know, a lot of the wealth building principles and everything, I try to exercise what I'm learning, but I'll take, like Jack Canfield, great author. He's the author for Chicken Soup of the Soul. He wrote a book. It's a pretty thick book. It's called Success Principles, Jack Canfield. I love Jack Canfield because I don't have to go pay, $30,000-$50,000 for a course on wealth building principles. When I got this book, Jack Canfield, The Success Principles, you guys got to read it.
It is a big book, but you
great
can get
book.
it on audio as well.
But what I love about him is that, he's really practical. For me, he's very practical, very realistic. And the book cost me $10. And I got it from the library book, for library in Long Beach. But, I paid for it. It's $10. But, even if you go onto his website, he'll sell the PDF book and for $10. So I don't have to pay tens of thousands or thousands of dollars just for somebody to tell me. Now, a lot of those principles are actual, real life, and that's what I love about it, is just real practical life stuff. And it's stuff that we already know. And the first chapter on the book, as an example, is taking 100% responsibility for and accountability for our actions. And when I first read that that chapter, it just changed my story. And that's really what it is how we are. We get the awesome thing about being human beings, being the people that we are, is that we can change our story. And that's what I love about it. It's just a very simple,
what age.
It's a very simple one sentence, metaphorical sentence, but to me, it applies a lot, that I can change anything I want, because this is my life, this is my journey. And my journey, whether I want a whole lot of, if I want a whole lot of money, or I want to have money enough to just be able to take care of my family and myself, I get to change, and I get to create my own story. And it's that journey that, in business, there's a lot of stress. There's, we all go through it. But the way I deal with stress is that stress is part of life. Stress is part of the process. It's part of business process. And so I always say for myself, I was born for this stuff, you know. And
you are, and we talk a lot about, being an entrepreneur and being who is a true entrepreneur and who is not. And, I was telling you yesterday, we had a conversation about, hey Barbie, hey Royce.
Hey Paul, I love that. I like money. I just don't like people.
I think you and Rex might have a little bit in common there, Paul.
I'm the same way with you, Paul.
Stress is a motivator, and that's what I was just going to say, Paul, is because, we have met a lot of people along the way that, Rex and I have, and it's funny because entrepreneurs, it's kind of the buzz thing right now. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur because it's cool. And back, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, what is an entrepreneur? Like, it was kind of not a thing that people, it wasn't a thing. It was like kind of, I don't know.
It was a movement.
Well, it just didn't, Gary Vee talks about that. It was kind of like nerds that, were entrepreneurs, and that wasn't the cool thing to do. But true entrepreneurs love the process of being an entrepreneur, the good, the bad, the ugly. They do not love, they love, whether it's the stress, whether it's, it's all the ups and downs. It's like, that is the true entrepreneur. And, there are people that, claim that they're entrepreneurs. They want the start and they want the finish. They don't want the middle.
Hey, Paul,
right?
Stress is a motivator. A lot of people, they deal with stress like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. It's like, whoa. You're a true entrepreneur when you understand that.
Yeah.
Stress is a motivator. That's what it does for me. I look at stress and, hey, it's just part of the process. Like there's bills to pay. Like, people want to complain about bills that they have to pay. Like, holy crap, when you like in my case, like we've got, hundreds and thousands of dollars of bills to pay. And I used to dread all the time as a business owner. Friday was my, like, holy shit, here we go, Friday again. Like, normal people, that are not, that are just out there working, they dread Monday. I love Mondays, Friday for me was like everybody's Mondays. But now I look at when I go to my job sites, I see my I see my workers, I see the subcontractors working on the project. I hail Fridays now. I see the good. I see the good that I'm doing and contributing to helping so many families. And on Friday, so now when I'm writing checks, we're writing checks and we're paying payrolls. I feel good about that because I'm contributing, helping people put my guys out there put food on the table, and that's why I always say shout out to my investor partners and financiers that this is my joy, this is my passion, being able to see my guys, seeing the good that we get to do and helping build financial well-being for families out there. And so that's what I take pride in. My Fridays is like, so every day is a great day.
Yeah.
Every day, from Monday to Sunday.
I think you and I, we really live that. Like that is, and
that's
every day is
abundance.
It's abundance. That's thinking in abundance that every day is a great day. Now, stuff happens and that, whatever. There's something good in every day. But I wanted to talk about the bills part too, not like so much for business, but personal, because I used to hate paying.
Yeah, you're right, Mike.
My, the Shaw bill, the cable bill, the phone bill. Hi, Colin. The, electricity bill, paying all those bills, and it used to just aggravate me. And, if you ever spend any time where you're unable to pay your bills, you learn to appreciate, and this is where I flipped my thinking, is because I've gone through periods of times when I couldn't pay my bills. I've gone through those times, we've gone through them together. Mm-hmm. I am grateful to pay those bills because if we can't pay those bills, we're on the street. And
it sounds weird.
I'm as much as, and that doesn't mean I'm happy with the dollar amount of my cable bill.
Oh,
but,
we'll fight it.
But I'm grateful that I have the ability to pay those bills. Yeah. So it was that little shift, like not being pissed off because, oh yeah, here's the bill. I'm so happy that I can pay this bill. Now I'm going to phone them and not be happy with them. But I'm happy I can pay that bill.
Yeah,
so.
It sounds weird being able to say, oh, I enjoy paying bills, or oh, I enjoy, paying payrolls. But we do.
Because what's the opposite of it?
This is, not everything is still perfect. And, in my view, there's still room for improvement on that perspective. But I look at everything from like taxes. Before I used to try to find ways and not be like at my accountant's throat to going, hey, let's try to knock down more, not having to pay taxes. Now that I look at I have a different perspective on money, and now I go, okay, not just being able to pay bills, but to me taxes is like, I want to look forward to paying taxes. Why? Because I want to contribute back to this, to my society, my neighborhood, my community, my city, or whatever. Building, infrastructure, building, if I see that money is being used, taxpayers' money is being used properly, for building schools, for better education for our younger generations, that kind of stuff. That's how I look at things, and that's what, living a life of abundance versus living a life of scarcity. So it's a positive reinforcement in the direction that I want to be at, and versus to going, oh, I don't want to pay bills, or I don't want to pay taxes, or whatever. That's to me, that's scarcity. Now we will always, like for me, I just want to pay my fair amount of taxes, and I'd be happily want to be able to do that. Now, in the spirit of transparency, I'm just like a lot of people out there, business people. I'm still there are some tax issues that I have to deal with, but I want to deal with it. And, I don't want to run from it, or I don't want to deny it, or be negligent about it. I want to face it, and it's we're kind of getting out of the topic of money, but for me, money is just a vehicle that allows me to be able to function in life and business, and it's not the means and all means for me in creating my happiness and the love that I want to exude out for my family and my circle of people I care and love. But it certainly freaking helps, So when people say, "Oh, I really don't care about money," well, that's how you think about money is how you are going to be. And so there's nothing wrong with money, but being practical and realistic about money, that's what I'm trying to live a life of abundancy, so that I don't have to worry about my bills. I don't have to worry about not being able to pay my guys, my workers or anything. I want to be able to pay my bills. I want to be able to pay my taxes. So that's what it means to me for abundance. I want to be able to take Carla and I, and we haven't been on a vacation. We've taken little vacations here and there, but
we've never gone like on an actual
No.
We're going to, I don't know, wherever, Mexico for 2 weeks. Like, we've never ever done that. But you know what? And that's okay. Hey Josh, hey Lori. Hi,
Hey,
Lori. It's kind of one of those things that like Rex is he really feels strongly, and I support him in this, is he wants to really share his income and money with his parents and take care of them and spoil them. They've worked hard all their life, and they've always put their kids first, and it's their turn now. So that's nice, and I support him on that 100% without question. So it's do we take the vacation, or is it awesome that we have the capability and ability to do that for his parents? I am very much supportive of his parents should go before us. We will have our time, and that's
Carla and I have a vacation every day.
Yeah, I don't know, we have fun together. So
we're business partners, and we have a relationship, and we have life partners as well. And
and every day is just sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
Don't you think, honey? Isn't that right?
Hey, Paul, I just want to acknowledge you. Hey, I totally get what you're saying and where you've come from, and a lot of times I reflect back on my homelessness period. I don't look at it as a sad thing for me. I look at it that, for me, it happened because I needed to reflect. It's what evolved me, okay? And we all have to have our own self-evolution.
Yeah.
And I've always told Carla, when Carla and I met, and the thing of it was that I wasn't looking for anybody, and Carla wasn't looking for me, and gosh, that was like 9 years ago. And so there is second chance in life. There's a second chance for everything. And there's a third chance, fourth chance, and fifth chance, and so on and so on. I can reflect back on all the businesses, dealings that I've had. I've been burnt, and I'm sure, it takes two to tango. I've been burnt, and that's because, that's, for me, I look at it as a life learning lesson for business for me, and it doesn't make me a bad, it didn't turn me into an asshole. I look at it that no one's going to change that part of me that I value dearly, and that is and that is, for me, I just want to be continuously exuding love. And if I can share my story with other people, and that's exactly the reason why Carla and I are doing this, why she's doing the coffee with Carla and myself. I'm going to be going on doing social lives as well, basically talking about business, and and just basically I want to just share with every commenter out there of other builders, contractors, trades professionals out there that we're going through the same journey. And for me, I'm no exception to the rule. You know, I've gone through good times and a lot of bad times more, you know, but I want to turn that around. I've turned 50 a couple of years ago, or a year ago, and you know, I want to minimize the mistakes, because now I've learned all the mistakes. So for me, I don't need to learn any more mistakes, with the exception of, you know, maybe things that like I'm constantly a student, an avid student in life and in business, and I'm always learning. And so I'm like a sponge, you know, but you can only learn so much, and you can keep reading books and listening to videos about positivity and, you know, success principles.
Money.
But if you don't apply it, if you don't apply those principles and actually exercise, so, you know, it'll never happen. But, you know, for me, money was just a shift in my thinking and saying, okay, I'm done being broke. I'm done. You know, I'm done just making it by. I'm done with paycheck to paycheck. No, it's just a shift in thinking and being able to say, okay, like I want to make $25,000 in 90 days, within 90 days. And you know, the how part is gonna, you know, manifest itself. It's just a matter of being able to say to yourself, and, you know, convincingly and passionately, and be able to say, okay, you know, I want to make 25,000 in the next, you know, 60 to 90 days. And then the how part will eventually start working, and you know, and that's how your mind thinks. And so just let it be.
Well, and the other thing too is, you don't just say, I'm going to make X amount of dollars in 90 days, and it just happens. You don't just throw that out to the universe.
Yeah,
and
then
that
you
happens.
work
You have to work for it, because, you know, we all have people, and we know people that they have put out, like, they keep saying, I put it out to the universe, I want to make $100,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. And then they don't do anything about it. Well, okay, the universe isn't going to help you, because you have to work. It's still hard work. That's everything involves hard work. It's the process. It is what you know. That's just, you can't have it any other way. But we are way over our time. You're so funny. 30 minutes is kind of long, I think. We're going into 40 minutes. So we better sign off and let everybody get back to their lives. But thank you for being on.
Hey,
and I think you're welcome.
It was an honor being in your show.
I think what Rex and I kind of discussed a little bit before this show is, I think I would like to kind of make Wednesdays where he is kind of always the guest on Wednesdays, if he can make that work in his schedule. And we're going to just talk about, like, not, you know, business stuff, but I think life stuff. I think, you know, relationships, pros, like the good and the bad, and, you know, where we are in our lives. Like,
love you, Mike.
We've both, you know, we both were married before, and I use the hashtag all the time when I talk about him on social media. I always say, this is our second act. We're in our second act. And I really think that this age group, kind of the middle age, I don't like saying that, but we're kind of the middle age group. I think we need more of that. We need more of that conversation, because we have all, and most of us in this group, have gone through experiences, and I think we have some valid wisdom to share with each other. So we're going to go back and read all the comments, because we couldn't read them all. And you guys, thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate you so much. Keep coming back. Keep sharing. You guys, please, 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 if you guys have topics you want to talk about, let me know. We will. I'm all open. So yes, one more thing.
Can I say something?
He wants the last word.
Hey, a huge shout out to all the contractors, builders, trades professionals. Really excited about this. Carla and I launched handyguys.com. That's with a Z, not an S. Back in January 2014. And we haven't, until just recently, a few months ago, we started revamping our website. Now it's no longer, you can add your profile in there of your business for your local neighborhood. And awesome thing, this is a free local classifieds for your local
Your area.
for your area.
Yeah, where you live.
So anyways, you can post your business there. If you're a solo entrepreneur, you can post your work, your creation, let the world know in your neighborhood, in your local area, to know about your talent, whether you're a welder, machinist, mechanic,
Spray foamer.
framer, spray foamer, insulation contractor, what have you, roofer, what have you. Get in on handyguys.com. It's free. And you can also post in there if you got equipment and tools you want to sell because you're upgrading to new equipment and tools. Post your stuff there to let other businesses, other entrepreneurs, buy your product, your tools and your old tools and equipment. Anyways, really excited for handyguys.com. It's a labor of love for Carla and I. It's our little baby, and we want to share it to all the trades professionals out there. That's handyguys.com with a Z, not an S. And
think of it as your virtual or digital resume, right? Like you can post links with videos and all that type of stuff. The equipment section is really cool because it's you can buy and sell your equipment and that stuff.
Yeah.
Hi Barbie, thank you. You're awesome too.
So this is exclusively for my fellow trades pros, and get in there, use the website, and really excited for our community to grow as Sprays Foam Worldwide and Coffee with Carla. This is a community that I want to grow. I want to see it grow with trades professionals all over the world, and we already started. I think embedded we have over 6,500 licensed professional trades people on the site. So I want to see that continue to grow.
And we have a Facebook page too, so you can go over and check out our Facebook page. So for anybody that's going to be listing on there, just
Barbie,
as a side
you're
note,
awesome.
As a side note, hey Justin, we will then post it. We post the businesses on our Facebook page, on our Twitter account, and we blast you guys out. So it's just another form of marketing for you guys that you don't have to do it. So all you have to do is set up your profile. We take care of the rest. So.
We are so over the time limit, but
yeah,
anyways,
we're way over.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be back here Friday, 9:30. I don't know what we'll talk about. I'm going to think about it. Send me some suggestions.
Peace out.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing day, and that's it, I guess, hey? Okay. Bye. Oops. There we go. Oh, darn. Come on. Sorry, guys.